So for this workshop, we're going to look at taking a data set. And for that data set, we're going to look at the mean, standard deviation, and we'll look at frequency and histogram. Now, when you do this, we want to make sure we explain all steps. And if you use technology, you're more than welcome. We have this TI-83 calculator. You can go through those steps. You make sure you explain yourself and how you arrive at your answers. That's always key is explanation. We want to make sure that we are emphasizing critical thinking, quantitative reasoning. So you can use the TI-83 calculator. You can use the StatCrunch that comes along with the textbook. There are plenty of videos with the that come along with this on your instructions pages. You can also use Excel or by hand. Just make sure that you show and explain all your steps. And so then we have a question that follows here. When finding the standard deviation for a sample, explain the importance in dividing by n-1 rather than just n. And then this next question, also explain the impact, if anything at all, to the mean and standard deviation if all the values in the data set are doubled. All right, so we'll look at those two questions. After I do an example of taking a data set. Now below here you'll notice that first letter of your last name, you'll have a certain data set according to your last name. I'm going to take a data set. I'm going to use, let's see, I'll probably use Excel because I did one by hand in a different video. So we'll do Excel, we'll do mean, standard deviation, create frequency distribution, and histogram using Excel. Now again, you want to make sure you show your screenshots and your process. Don't just post just your Excel spreadsheet. Show and explain how you arrived at it. So a good way to do that again was screenshotting each step, showing how you arrived at your answers. That's key here. All right, so let's jump right into Excel. I'm going to take some data points here, and we're going to get the mean, standard deviation again, and frequency, and histogram. So here I have some data. The data that I have is actually the NBA player salaries. I took just simply the top 100 of them. Now this is more data than you guys have, which is okay. Now what you can do is you can take your data and you can copy and paste it into Excel, or it might be better to just manually type them into Excel just to make sure that you don't get frustrated with the cut and paste trying to get the data in there. But this can actually be fairly easy and very simple, especially with technology. So the mean, we're going to hit equals, parenthesis, average. Now, Excel knows it likes to use the word average for the word mean. They essentially mean the same thing. So average, and I'm going to take that, I'm going to highlight all my cells here. Like I said, I have a little more data points than what is listed for you guys. And so that's the top 100. So the top 100 NBA players, the average salary is quite large. You can see it there. So standard deviation. Now, there are two things here for standard deviation. I can start typing STDEV. Now, if you see here, I have a P, I have an S. So standard deviation, STDEV dot. Again, there's a P there and also an S. Now, if you have all the data for the population, we're going to go with that first one. But we don't have all the NBA players. This is just a sample of them. So that's why we're going to click that one. We're going to use the STDEV dot S, standard deviation of the sample. So that's what we're going to use. Oh, jump the gun there. All right, and now we're going to highlight those same cells. Again, I probably should have used a little less data points, but that's okay. Yeah. So this is the standard deviation of all that. Now, you got to keep in mind that standard deviation is going to look very large, especially because I have large numbers. Now, your standard deviation will probably look much smaller than this, which is okay. Now, the next part, so we have the mean, got standard deviation. Let's go back to the instructions here real quick. All right, we got mean, standard deviation. Now we got create a frequency distribution and histogram. All right, so let's take a look at where do we get that. Now, you need a data analysis tab. So under data, usually over here somewhere is a data analysis tab. Mine's not there. Yours might not be there, which is okay. We're going to go to File. we're going to go to Options. In Options, you go to Add-ins. Now, with the add-ins, we'll look at this toolpack. It's inactive. We want it to be active. So we're going to click Analysis Toolpack. Okay. And now here's our data analysis. Now we have it. Now we can go ahead and get that frequency and histogram. So we want to make sure that there is visible. So that's how you get it with the add-ins. All right. So now let's take a look at the data analysis. So in data analysis, we want to click histogram. So we're going to click histogram. All right, after that, click OK. Now we have this box of input range, bin range, with all sorts of stuff here. Now let's take a look a little more closely. What goes in each one of these? So the input's pretty easy. So we click on input, and that's all of our data points. Now we do have a fairly large range here, and that's where this bin comes into play. The bin will help us to create intervals. So if we notice, our smallest is about, I'm just going to roughly estimate about 10 million. Our largest is about 40 million. So the range there is approximately 30 million. So what we can do is we can go up of increments of 5 million. And if we do that, what we can do is we can actually try to get some a better view of the data. So when we use intervals with large ranges, we can get a better visual of what the data looks like. So over here, I have the bin, and I ended up creating, starting at 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, 25, and so on. So here's my bins, and that's going to help me to categorize, or actually not necessarily categorize, but to take each of these data points and put them inside these intervals. So I know how many is from 10 million to 15 million will appear here. How many is from 15 million to 20 million will appear here. So these cutoffs are the cutoffs for the next set of data points. So there's my bin there, and so my intervals are now created. It doesn't necessarily show the intervals here. I can put 10 million to 14,999,999. I can put that there, but it's not necessary for the bin to create the histograms. So let's get our data analysis back up, and let's see how to put this in. Data analysis, histogram. From histogram, let's see here. That's my input. Let's start over here. Input is going to be, I'm gonna make sure that's clicked and highlight there. And there we go. There's our input. Now our bin are going to be these values here. Now this will end up creating a chart where it shows the bin again, but we're going to do the output range, and we'll put the output over here and hit OK, and there it is. And so yeah, it did duplicate the bin again, but that's okay. And so what exactly does this mean? So what this means here is, so we have 19 here. So from 10 million to 15 million, we have 19. From 15 million to 20 million, we have 30. From 20 million to 25 million, we have 6. From 30 million to 35 million, oh, I skipped one. From 25 to 30, we have that, 25, and so on. All the way up to here where it's 40 to 45 million, there was 1. And so these here are the upper cutoffs. So these are the upper cutoffs of the data points. So 10 million is the upper cutoff, and that's why it's 0, because there are none below. Oops, whoa, that went a little too fast. Sorry about that. There are none below 10 million. So that's why there was 0 there. But then from 10 to 15, that's that amount. There are 19, again, and so on. And so now you can, make this nice. You can label these. You can, instead of that, we can put, salary range, frequency. We can make these charts nice. All right, we can make these charts nice. And one more thing. So real quick here, go back to data analysis, go back to histogram, hit OK. And the one thing I forgot to click here was this chart output. So make sure that's clicked. If that's clicked, now this is going to tell me to overwrite that data that I have there, so don't worry about that. But there's my chart. Here we go. And now I have my histogram. So I forgot one step there. You gotta make sure you have that box clicked, and then our histogram gets created. So here we go. We have the mean, which is the average of our data points, the standard deviation, which we created. And we want to make sure we emphasize there, we use the .s, not the .p. .p is for population. That's if we have all the data for the population. And here I just have a sample. I don't have all the NBA players. So that's a sample. So, and now we made sure that we had the data analysis tab. We want to add this to make sure it was there. And then we created a histogram. And we had our input values, our bin values, and then make sure we check that output box to get our output for a histogram. And there's our histogram. Now, within this, we can do a little bit of editing here too. Within this here, if we say we start double clicking on some of these areas, we can change this, say instead of histograms, we can do a more appropriate title, say salaries of NBA players. And so we can do, make it a little nicer. We can actually change this. If you look over here, you have all sorts of ways you can format this. And I believe you can check over here. We have different ways that we can have this displayed. We can also change the color too. So all sorts of various ways that you can, change your graph from how it looks. It depends, whatever you'd like. As long as it's, visually pleasing and making sure that it's, it's correct in terms of, the actual data, the titles, you're good. Lots of different ways to alter this and to make it look a little more pleasing to the eye. So all sorts of things there in terms of style and color. Now, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. Just make sure you let me know if I can be of any assistance. I hope you have a blessed day. So we had two more questions there. When finding the standard deviation for a sample, explain the importance in dividing by n-1 rather than just n. So throughout that entire process, I've actually hinted on the answer several different times. And so if you remember, in Excel, I explained how there was two different versions of standard deviation. One for population, one for sample. Now, I don't want to go too much further into the details of the answer for this because I want to see some good discussion from it. But the answer will revolve around what we just spoke about, sample versus population. And you can also, look up various things regarding the n-1 versus n. Most calculators, most programs will have two formulas separate, one that has the n-1, one that has the n. And so we need to have a good discussion on what does that actually mean and why. And so I almost gave the answer away already, but I want to see some good discussion on why you guys think n-1 versus n, and make sure just give some good a few sentences, a couple paragraphs on what you think about that. Now the next one is much more straightforward. I'll explain the impact, if anything at all, to the mean and standard deviation if all the values in the data set are doubled. And so I'm going to just go through the steps and double something for you, but I want you to explain what happens there. So here in Excel, I have data points here, and then I have them doubled. And so here I am going to say equals average. There's average. And I'm going to highlight, we'll do this one first. Enter. And standard, if I equal to sign, equals, there we go. Standard deviation. There's that P versus S again. Well, this here is just random data points. And so at this point, I'm just going to use the sample one here and highlight that. Now for the other one, I'm going to use the same exact formula so you can see what happens. I'm not going to switch back and forth from the S first to P, because I want to show you what happens. Now, we'll do equals average. There it is. I can double click on that, highlight, and there you go. That's the result. I doubled all the data points, and that's what happened to the mean. Now let's take a look at standard deviation. Oh boy, there we go. Again, want to make sure we use the same formula. Yes, that's what we used for the first one. And let's take a look at what happens there. Okay, something did happen. So I want you guys to explain what happened. Why did it happen? and try to explain why. So again, standard deviation is something that kind of helps you to understand um, how far apart data points are. So I'm not going to, I don't want to go any further. I want you guys to try to discuss and explain what you think may have happened there. So again, this first one here, you take a look at these numbers, something happened to them when I doubled the data points. So something happens to mean, and looks like something did happen to standard deviation. So your job is to discuss exactly what happened and why. And it also helps to look at the definition of these two terms and what that means. And I think you guys got this. All right, if you have any questions again, let me know. I'm here for you. Remember, I'm here for you, and keep an eye out and watch those other posted videos for the individual assignments. And please do not hesitate to ask for any assistance. I do see emails and text messages much more quickly than posts in the eClassroom. Also, there is tutoring available for you. Go to Course Menu, Course Dashboard, IW Resources. It's there. It's an upgraded service for you guys. We want to make sure you have all the resources possible to succeed. And also, I do have live office hours. Make sure to check the workshop announcements for more details. I just want to make sure that you know that IW has your back, and we're here for you. Hope you have a blessed week.